I'm Pistolero, and this is another of Pistolero's pointers. I think one of the most common questions that most firearms instructors get asked is, okay, now I've chosen the gun I'm going to use for my self-defense carry gun. What kind of ammunition should I carry in it? And it's a good question, and it's one which kind of has some answers, but not an answer that you can put in black and white. And I'll tell you why. First of all, let's start with the cheap stuff. Here is a plain old 9mm, 115 grain, full metal jacket round. Now, we commonly call this practice ammo or range ammo. And the reason is, it's cheaper. It's 115 grains, so it's lightweight compared to other 9mm rounds. It's full metal jacket, so it's not a higher technology bullet that's designed to expand. It doesn't have quite as much muzzle velocity as some other 9mm rounds, and therefore it costs about a half or maybe a third of the cost to shoot that some more what we call defensive rounds would cost. Buy the heck out of this stuff, shoot it and use it at the range, because the cheaper your range ammo is, the more likely you are to shoot more often, and that's important. Is this going to be a good defensive round? Well, it will certainly stop a person. I don't want to get shot with one, and it is a lethal round if you do your job and put the rounds where they need to go in the bad guy. God forbid that situation ever happens. But the question is, in a gunfight, you want to stop the fight as quickly as possible because you have a threat coming at you, and you need to stop the threat before it can hurt you. So you want a round which not only can cause serious damage to a human body, but which causes damage as quickly as possible. Therefore, we go to some more what we might call high-tech rounds. Let me give you an example. Here we've got some Federal. It is a 147 grain Federal Hydra Shock round. And you can see it's a hollow point round. It's designed to expand faster. It's 147 grain as opposed to the 115 grain round that I just showed you. So it's a heavier round. There are also 124 grain 9mm rounds, which are commonly used. This is going to have a higher muzzle velocity, so it's going to hit with more impact, more energy in a human body. So the combination of the higher weight in the round, the faster expanding round, the greater muzzle velocity, all those play a part in doing more damage to the bad guy more quickly and hopefully saving your life. Now, that's only one, the Federal Hydra Shock. Here we have a 147 grain Spear Gold Dot. Outwardly, they look darn near identical. They're very similar 147 grain hollow point rounds. They're both going to be 2 to 3 times more expensive per round than this 115 grain practice round. These are just two of the very common self-defense rounds that you will find on the market. There are many others. The main point is, find a round that your gun likes, because remember, some guns can be a little finicky when it comes to some ammunition. Some guns don't feed or chamber certain rounds as well as they feed and chamber other rounds. Find one that your gun really likes, that you get good, accurate, dependable groups on out of your gun. Buy those to carry. Buy those to keep in your gun for self-defense purposes. Buy a bunch of the cheap stuff to practice with so you'll practice more often. And you'll have a good combination no matter which brand of ammunition you use. And by the way, I've only showed you 9mm. That's true of any caliber. I've only showed you semi-automatic rounds. That's true even if you use a revolver. The principles are all the same. I'm Pistolero, reminding you to practice like your life depends upon it, because someday it might.